Home to nearly 1 million inhabitants, Otoh Gunga was anchored to an underwater cliff in the deep depths of Lake Paonga. Its central district, much like all submerged Gungan cities, was a dense cluster of bubbles that housed noisy cantinas, oval-shaped sacred bubbles, and elegant city squares. There was even an aptly named ancient quarter, where fragile bubbles glowed ever so faintly. The reason for so many circular-shaped rooms all came down to Boss Nass and his equally inflated ego. In fact, one of his first acts as governor saw him order the construction of a prestigious new boardroom and suites of offices, most of which lay dormant year after year. But perhaps his biggest oversight, something the Rep Council weren't so keen on, were the inner bubbles publicly displaying his various great deeds. In fairness, Nass simply wanted to leave his mark upon Otoh Gunga. He wanted to develop attractions such as the City Big Space to entice tourists both nearby and afar, with organic building techniques that produced entire complexes of bubbles seemingly overnight. He soon lined the city's colour-filled walkways with those seeking invertebrate eateries, live creature displays, and bubble projection shows. Radiating outward from the main city structure, the Otoh villages were where the Gungans lived and worked. One popular occupation, yet easily the most dangerous, saw highly trained personnel extract plasma from the buds or stalk tips of the slow-growing and long-living low-cap plant. What made the task so treacherous was not the plasma itself, due to the fact it was siphoned out by the plant's roots, which bored into porous rock, all before finally being stabilised as a natural part of its digestion, but rather the circular lobes with spiny teeth that snap shut with the least bit of pressure. Part of the reason for risking life and limb for such plasma, at least when combined with a catalyst obtained from bubble wort, was due to its creation of hydrostatic fields. By feeding energy back through each electrostatic field generator, the root counterphase array reversed the complex reaction and recharged the plasma, thus repeating the process. The resulting hydrostatic fields differed in transparency. For example, private dwelling bubbles were completely opaque. Even further afield from the Otoh villages, aside from satellite clusters banished by other underwater cities and in search of a new home, artist-scientists working in an outlying bubble complex organically grew bongo submarines. The development of new growth formulas could potentially herald great fame and fortune, so much so that bongo organics became a popular course at Gungan brain arrays or colleges. But did you know that bongo sub-power units were automatically recharged whilst floating in their pens? Or that centrifugal pumps purified the city's air using exotic bacteria which illuminated as they ate toxins to produce the characteristic Gungan floor glow? How about the fact that listening plates gave advanced warning of approaching sea creatures? Finally, did you know that the entrance to the Rep Council boardroom was reached through 14 increasingly grandiose foyer bubbles? Well, if you didn't, now you do. So, if you've learned something new from today's video, be sure to leave a like. To help out the channel that little bit extra, please do consider pledging to our Patreon page, and for all things inside Star Wars, press that subscribe button and notification bell. Thanks for watching.